Hi, welcome to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. We've won another trophy! All right, it was only a friendly. Let's not get carried away, as Claude says. It was only a friendly, but Arsenal yesterday lifted the Emirates Cup. And listen, it's always good to get into a winning mentality, and that's what we seem to be developing at the moment. And, you know, they won the Asia Trophy last week, Emirates Cup this week, FA Cup. You know, it's good. Keep it going. Next week, hopefully, the Community Shield. It's always good. Anything you're in, try and win it, you know, and, you know, it's always good. It's always good to develop that winning mentality. And listen, some very good performances over the weekend. Of course, yesterday's game, not as blistering as the day before against Lyon, where we beat them 6-0, a 1-0 win for Arsenal. Could have had a couple more in the game, put up against a Wolfsburg team that obviously came out there and said, hold on a minute, we ain't getting done 6-0. And actually, Wolfsburg in the first half probably were a better team. But second half, we played really well, and I was very, very impressed by one player in particular. And remember, we've signed this guy this season. That seems to be gone right under the radar. Jeff-René Adelaide, he was excellent. The bit of skill he did on Kevin De Bruyne was absolutely audacious. I love the way the kid just picked up the ball and ran at the defence of Wolfsburg. I love to see that in football. I love to see players that run at defences. And this kid, he's only 17 years of age, and his confidence, his dribbling ability, his strength as well. He looked big, you know, and strong for a 17-year-old. We've signed him this season, of course, from Lens, and I'll tell you what, there is a lot to be excited about in this player. Arsene Wenger described him the day before as a special talent, and we saw that for ourselves over the 2 days. And Arsene Wenger has also said, listen, he's not going out on loan. He's staying there to work with the first team because he is a big talent, and we saw that over the 2 days. What an excellent player this guy looks in the making. Looks like a player that could possibly be stepping in and playing a few games in the first team this season. And his assists for Theo Walcott's goal was absolutely superb, and Theo Walcott took it superbly. Brilliant finish by Theo. As we said yesterday, about to sign that new contract to Arsenal. He's going to be a very, very important player for Arsenal this season. Please, Theo Walcott, stay injury-free, and we could see 20 goals plus out of this guy. He is a natural goal scorer. He scores goals instinctively, and he's going to have a big part to play this season for Arsenal. So it was good to see that performance yesterday and over the weekend, and the fact that we won the Emirates Cup, and good to see some of those young players shining, and just gives more confidence going into the season that, you know, you've got players that are shining. You've got lots of competition. We saw it yesterday. Hector Bellerin coming in at right back, Monreal at left back. You know, the day before, Debuchy played really well, I thought. You know, Gibbs played really well. Gabriel yesterday, very impressive. Chambers, you know, even though they were, you know, a couple of times there's a few little mishaps because obviously they're not used to playing together. But Gabriel in particular, I liked yesterday. It's good. It's good, healthy competition for places, and looking good ahead of the season to come. Of course, one player who never featured over the weekend was Wojciech Sczczesny, and the reason that is because he's leaving. He's announced himself yesterday on Instagram, on his own personal Instagram, that he's joining Roma for definite. He will be going to Roma today to seal everything up, and he will become a Roma player and will be there for this season. Who knows whether he'll return or not? Arsene Wenger has said, listen, he's still in my plans. He will be returning. And it's a good move all round, as I sort of said yesterday. You know, Wojciech Szczesny wants to break into the Polish national team. The Euros are at the end of the season, of course. Ahead of him at the moment is Lucas Fabianski's, mainly due to the fact that he plays every week at Swansea. And remember, he was his number 2, Fabianski, at Arsenal. So by going out and playing regular football for Roma, at a very high level, Champions League, you know, very demanding team. Can only be good for Wojciech Sczesny. Let's hope he gets his head down. No smoking, no showers and any rubbish like that. Concentrate on your football. You are a very, very talented goalkeeper. And, you know, you can return back one day and challenge Petr Cech, who looked good again yesterday for that #1 spot. But yes, definitely he's on his way out and going to Roma. Talking of Italy, Italian player linked with a move into Arsenal is Fernando Llorente. It's been going on for about a past week. Rumours hotting up on this one that Arsenal are willing to pay £8.5 million to bring Llorente to Arsenal. It's a pretty cheap price. Of course, the age goes against him now. 30 years of age. He seems to have been around for a little while. He was a really, really hot prospect when he's playing over there in Atletico Bilbao. Gone to Juventus, hasn't really worked out for him at Juventus. And of course, at the moment, he's definitely surplus to requirements with him buying Mandzukic, Dybala. You know, he's spending a lot of money at Juventus. Llorente is going to be on his way out. And a lot of people still suggesting it's Arsenal that's going to come in for him. I still have my doubts about this. With Arsene Wenger saying, listen, we want a very special player. We're only looking for like real special players to come in. I'm very much doubting that this will be the signing that happens. Not too sure if the fans would be very excited at Llorente coming in. As a matter of fact, I'll change that not too sure to definitely. I don't think they'd be excited. The fans are looking for a real marquee striker to come in, and Llorente doesn't. A few years ago, he would have fitted that bill, but at the moment, Llorente doesn't fit that bill, and I'm not too sure if we'll see that deal happening. So Llorente linked. Another Juventus player, interestingly linked with Arsenal today. A Juventus player you won't know much about. He's a young Juventus player, very, very hot prospect. Goes by the name of Kingsley Coman. Now, as I said, he's a hot prospect. He's only 19 years of age. He used to play for PSG before moving to Juventus. And we're being told that Arsenal are very, very interested in signing him, as are Liverpool and Bayern Munich. Those three clubs are definitely looking at him. Juventus got a lot of very good players at the moment. It's you know, when you look at the way they've assembled their squad over the past few years, you know, it's no surprise that they've won so many leagues and that they've got to the final of the Champions League. They are a very, very good team. They've got a very deep squad. Kingsley Coman can't at the moment break into the team. All these clubs are hovering for him, including Arsenal. He is, though, another midfielder. Let's just play 11 midfielders on the pitch, you know what I mean? Because that seems to be practically every player that gets linked to Arsenal is a midfielder. If we was looking for a midfielder, we'd be all right. And you know what? After seeing that Jeff Reddy Adelaide yesterday, do we need Coman? I don't know. If he's a really hot prospect, it's really hard to turn those sort of players down, but not too sure about that one. And finally, linked today with João Moutinho. Now, this guy, I like this guy. He's a very, very good player. Versatile player. He's more of an attacking midfielder. Again, another midfielder. More of an attacking midfielder, but he can play deep. He can sort of play as a defensive midfielder. He played very well against us in the 2 legs against Monaco last season. Went for massive money to Monaco. Portuguese international, of course. He's 28 now. We're being told that the price that Monaco are willing to let him go for is about £14 million to get Moutinho, which that's not bad for a player of his caliber. As I said, he is a top player. Would he come, though, as backup to Francis Coquelin? Say, I very much doubt it. Moutinho, as we want to play each and every week, he is of that quality. Not sure. You know, certainly there was quite a lot of fans yesterday who weren't overly impressed with Mikel Arteta, although I thought Arteta yesterday didn't really do much wrong. He put in a couple of good blocks at a decent game, but a lot of fans looking at it and just saying, listen, he's just going to be too slow. We need somebody more dynamic there. Would Moutinho be a much better option than having somebody like Mikel Arteta in there? But it seems like, listen, Arteta lifted the trophy yesterday. He is the club captain, remember. Arsene Wenger really, really likes Arteta. It's really hard to see what defensive midfielder we're going to bring in, if any at all. But Moutinho linked today with a move to Arsenal. Let's get into your comments. Toby and Dent says, I think we should go for Maxim Gonalons of Lyon. He didn't have the greatest game against us. He says, yes, and he goes on to say that actually. He says, yeah, he didn't have the best of game yesterday against us. I've seen him play a defensive midfielder for Lyon in Liga 1, and he plays the same style as Coquelin. Coquelin beasted it against Lyon, so whoever is in is going to find it hard to break through, and getting someone like Gonalons for under £10 million makes sense. More sense than 25 million for a player like Carvalho. Then we move on to Chupa. Chupa says when Benteke goes to Liverpool for £32 million, bidding 35 million for Benzema is ridiculous and plain stupid. Real Madrid will be laughing. It's got a point there. The price is going to go up, you know, for a player like you know, Benzema, when you do look at it that way and you look at how much money Benteke went for. Daryl T's got a very long one here. He says, to all Arsenal fans calling for Lacazette to be signed, questions and question it. He said his best attribute, he says he's got a lot of good attributes, but he's sort of intimating in here that he's just a lot of hype, just like what Gervinho was. And remember, Gervinho did come as a top player from the French league. But then having said that, listen, there's been a lot of dissing of players that have come from the French league. It's only the French league. Hazard came from the French league and was only playing for Lille. So listen, don't get it twisted. If a player like Lacazette is talented enough to bang in those goals, he may be talented enough to play in the Premier League. Only time would tell. But certainly, I don't think you can discount that French league. There's been a lot of excellent players that have come out of that league. Tammy Sanchez said, I would still have Lacazette at Arsenal. You can't judge him off of one game where he had zero service from Lyon's midfield because they got dominated. He's a level or two below Lewandowski or Benzema, who ideally I would like to see at Arsenal. But he's saying that why not go and get Lacazette? And Lakshmi Guna says, at least we aren't panic buying it and spending crap lots of money on players like Liverpool and Manchester City. On a good day, when everyone is fit, we can beat anyone, but we shouldn't rely on that. And I think to me, that's the greatest point. We're not panic buying. As I said, you're looking, I just saw today, Manchester United have just signed a keeper, Sergio Romero. How many players have they bought? And that's because they've had to go and buy lots of players. All right, everybody's saying, wow, Man United are going to win, this, that. Those players have to gel. We saw last year, Manchester United bought arguably better players in Di Maria, and they went out and they, you know, bought Falcao, and none of those players, both world class, none of those players worked. None of them. It takes time. You know, Mesut Ozil, it's taken him like till now that we're now starting to discover the real Mesut Ozil. Some players can come straight in like Alexis Sanchez and just hit the ground running, and Sergio Aguero at City. Other players, it could take them time to adjust to the Premier League. And one good thing about Arsenal at the moment, we have got a settled squad, a settled team, used to each other, used to playing in the Premier League, which means we only need to add one or two, and that one or two can come in. There's no massive pressure on them because they can be eased into the team. And I think that's a really, really good thing. The fact that you look at Liverpool, they've had to go out there and buy 5, 6 players because they've needed it. Now those players are going to have to settle in. You saw the problems they had settling in all the players they bought last year. So, listen, it's good times. The team that won it last year, Chelsea, only needed 1 or 2, bought them in, just gelled them into their existing team that they had, and they were so hard to beat. I'm hoping that Arsenal can follow in those footsteps this year. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily. Today's Members Day tomorrow at Arsenal. Looking forward to that. You get to get down there see the players train, get to talk to some of the players. So that should be really, really cool. Members Day. So if you're going down to Members Day tomorrow, make sure you look out for Arsenal Fan TV team. We will be down there catching up with a few of the fans. But really enjoyed the Emirates Cup. Loved the weekend. Loved the fact that so many kids got to go to it. My kids still talking about it. They absolutely loved it. And listen, onwards and upwards for the team. Let's just hope that we can keep the momentum going.